Hey everybody, I'm AF Branco and you're watching Cartoons Etc. Now we have a guest on today. We have Gary Varvel, world-renowned cartoonist, conservative cartoonist. Of course, he'd have to be on this show. But we're going to get him on. Meantime, get your comments ready. Let me put up the comment thing. And while you're getting your comments ready, we're going to play a little song that we like to do, just to get things rolling. So hang in there with us.
If you would have told me 2 years ago, 3 years ago, that I would be in the middle of a political movement, I would have said, put down Hunter's crack pipe. Right now. Right now.
I can't afford the groceries. I can't afford your gas. It's Biden inflation across the nation. 81 million votes my ass. Hey, 81 million votes my ass. You failed to build back better. You middle fingered the middle class.
They've pissed off an already pissed off woman.
81 million votes my ass.
The crime was committed in broad daylight.
121st day of publicly transitioning.
I love it.
We're living on planet crazy.
Got a laptop full of China, hookers and blows and crack, and the diary's got Creepy Joe in the shower. 81 million votes my ass.
Hello.
81 million votes my ass. While Kamala tosses word salads that even cringe the Democrats. Waiting in the wings is a thing called Hillary. 81 million votes my ass. Hey, 81 million votes my ass.
And at first I chuckled. I said, oh my gosh, Hillary Clinton is actually talking about me? That's funny. And then I got to thinking, maybe that's not funny. Oh my gosh, help, help.
Hey!
And I just want you all to know, I'm in perfect health. We've recently had our automobile serviced and the tires are good and the brakes are in good order and I am not suicidal.
My red and white and blue is broken. 81 million votes my ass. 81 Joe, don't make me laugh. 2,000 mules got busy stuffing 45's ballots in the trash.
It is despicable what they did, and I will not let these bastards get away with it.
81 million votes my ass.
Our economy is strong as hell.
He had the swamp going after him, and he was still getting stuff done. And now we have stumbling, bumbling Joe.
Hey!
I miss the bull in the china shop. I miss the mean tweets. I miss Donald Trump. 81 million votes. My ass.
Song never gets old. We're going to bring Gary Varvel on just a little bit, but first I'm going to bring in my friend Joe Dan Gorman. He does a lot of these great videos over Intellectual Frog Legs. If you haven't had a chance, go over there and check out the last one. It's great. So here he is, the one and only Joe Dan Gorman.
Greetings, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Looks like they're pretty good. You know, Nunya is a guy, and I remember we had a gender crisis going on. He just came in and said he's a guy. I misgendered.
Yeah. That's a hate crime.
I know it. I'm Nunya on YT. His wife has his flat laptop tonight, so
At least now we know who he is.
yeah. So what I want to do right now, let's go through the cartoons so we can get Gary on. The cartoons I did this week, and all I have to do is pull them up here. Let's see, present.
It's those tricky buttons again.
Yeah, well, Grandpa's trying to embrace technology here. There we go. Share. Okay. Everybody, let me take none you down. Okay, I think this was the first one of the week. Surprise, bang, murderer. Basically, what the Hamas situation is.
Yeah, and it's funny. I saw these kids, these universities. The ones they're saying kill the Jews, and then they turn around and call Trump a Nazi.
Yeah.
Your education's working out real good.
Yeah, this is a cartoon I do for Alpha Media every week. This is the one from last Sunday. Minnesota Parents Alliance wins key school board races over the endorsed candidates from the union. So that was a high point.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah. So that's the one that came up from them. Did this one for Swamp Monsters. Systemic racism, looking through a microscope to find it, but then systemic Marxism is standing right in front of us.
Okay. There you go.
The Chinese.
The commies are coming. The commies are coming.
Quick, clean up the poop and the homeless. Yeah.
I was trying to figure out who Gavin was riding there. Is that Janet Yellen?
Yeah. Somebody told me that horse has a big ass on it. I don't know.
That's actually a pretty good horse.
Then did this for Americans for Limited Government, about the budget, of course. Yeah, that's a whole can of worms we could open up.
There's another shoot. Yeah. Oh, I love this one.
Hey, God. Oh, were you finished with this one? Okay.
Well, I was after you changed it.
Of course. I'm excited to get to our new guest.
Yeah, me too. We'll get through this crap.
Yeah.
But no, this is so perfect. And Hillary, she actually, a lot of people don't realize she has a big fan that's running for Republican office. For Republican presidency.
That's
number
true.
3. It's number 3. It's real short.
Yeah.
You might want to hit that up there.
I can't find it.
It's number 3.
Oh, there you go.
And say that the reason I got into politics was because of Hillary Clinton.
Hillary Clinton, you write about her being a big inspiration for you.
I went with my friend Eleanor Kitzman to a firm and leadership program where Hillary Clinton was speaking. And I walked out of there and I said, I'm running for office.
It often takes a woman to get the job done.
Just saying, sometimes it takes a woman.
Whoa.
Yes, I mean they're just that's why. So how could you not vote for Nikki? Or what's her real name?
Do they think? Do they really think that they're going to make friends this way? They're not going to be their friends. There's no way.
But the funny thing is Nikki came out and said everybody has to use their real name, and no aliases, and if they're good online. Right. Her name is not Nikki Haley. Her name is, and I swear, Nimrata Randhawa.
If you do, you're going to clean it up.
It's all over the place. I don't know how we're going to clean this mess.
Well, I want to read a little bit here. Gary Varvel, because I know a lot of our friends and followers know who he is because I see them post his stuff all the time. Gary Varvel is a national award-winning, internationally syndicated editorial cartoonist through Creators Syndicate in Los Angeles, same syndicate I'm with. He currently writes the Varvel's Views from the Right newsletter on Substack, and that's garyvarvel.substack.com if you want to take a gander at it. Varvel was born in Indianapolis in 1957, worked for 40 years for Indianapolis Newspapers Incorporated, where he was the Star's editorial cartoonist the last 24 years and was inducted into the Indiana Journalism Hall of Fame in 2015. He has a long list of awards. 2018 Advanced American Democracy Award, 2015 inducted into the Indiana Journalism Hall of Fame, 2012 National Headliners Award for Editorial Cartooning, 2011 Robert F. Kennedy Journalism Award for Cartooning, 2010 National Cartoonist Society Reuben Reuben Award for Best Editorial Contest. It goes on, but I'm starting to get an inferiority complex, so I'm going to stop
Well, you
there.
should. He's kicking your ass.
I know it. I'm going to go down to the bottom. His cartoons that have appeared on Fox News and in Newsweek, Time, the New York Times, the Washington Post, the New York Post, U.S. Today, Washington Times, National Review, and Sports Illustrated. His cartoons have also been reprinted in many college and high school textbooks. Varvel is also the chairman of the board of House of Grace Films and co-writer and producer of the films. Wow. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, I've been looking for a new cartoonist host anyway. You know, he's got the creds, man.
Yeah, too bad you can't afford him, you son of a.
That's
whatever.
true.
I'm going to bring him in. Let's welcome in Gary Varvel.
Come on in, Gary.
Hey, Gary, how are you?
Great. I'm looking forward to talking with both of you. I've been a fan of Branco for quite some time. And so it's good to meet you.
My pleasure. Nice
Welcome
aboard.
Now,
I was wondering, after seeing your awards, we can get rid of Branco. We'll just push him out.
He's not. Well, can't replace him.
I got the Intellectual Frog Leg Golden Award. What is that? What did you call that?
It's the Golden Frog Leg. That's what you won.
I got the Golden Frog Leg.
But unfortunately, it's digital.
I'm gonna cash it in and get my 50 cents.
Not real
back.
gold.
I'm gonna cash it in and get my 50 cents back.
Well, you have to pay a deposit,
right? It's funny because I've been a fan of cartoons for before I even started it. I started this back in 2010, so I'm kind of a puppy at it compared to Gary Varvel. But I was a fan of Gary Varvel's for a long time. Why I got into it is I didn't see enough conservative cartoons out there. I saw a lot of liberal cartoons. Did you run into that kind of throughout the years? A lot of liberal cartoons, but not a lot of conservative cartoons?
Well, it's interesting, the history of editorial cartooning. The AAEC, did you ever go to any of those conventions? The American Association of Editorial Cartoonists?
I belonged to it, but I never did go to the meetings. I was a friend of Milt Preggy. Do you know Milt Preggy?
I know Milt. Yeah, Milt's great.
And he's on the other side of the fence, but we got along great. We'd go have coffee because he lived in my neighborhood over here on.
Oh, really?
Yeah, in Washington. So we'd go have coffee once in a while and talk. We'd talk about cartoons. We just wouldn't talk about politics.
Right.
Right. But he's a good guy. So
well, that organization got started in 1957 or 9. I guess maybe it's 59. But the reason it was starting was because editorial cartoonists were losing newspaper jobs, and so they decided they were going to start this thing to try to impress upon newspaper editors that the importance of having editorial cartoonists. And at that time. So in 1900, there were 2,000 editorial cartooning jobs in the country.
Yeah.
And by the time they got to like 1959, there were like 250 left. And now there's like a dozen. I mean, there's just no jobs left. There's no job. For instance, you probably know this, but there's no editorial cartooning jobs in Texas.
Right.
And there's none in Indiana. Oh, there's a couple of editorial cartoonists here. And of course, Nick Anderson is in Houston, but there's no full-time job at a newspaper, which used to be the main way we made a living.
Now, let me just interject. When you were with the Indianapolis Star, were you allowed to do conservative cartoons, or
see, when I was hired there, I mean, the Star had been a conservative newspaper for like 100 years. Actually, it started in 1903, and I became the cartoonist in 1994. And so the editorial department was all conservatives. And so it was conservative heaven there. And so now as the years went on, things started to change. And then Gannett bought the Star in 1999. And then there became, a slow transition to, and now they don't have an editorial department at all. In fact, Gannett at one time, when they purchased all these newspapers, they were employing the most editorial cartoonists in the country, and now they have 0.
Wow.
No.
Well, now I grew up reading the Lexington Herald Leader in Kentucky.
Yeah.
And they have the most vile cartoonist, Joel Pett. Do you know
Joel
who that is?
Pett. My wife is laughing in the next room. Joel Pett is a friend of mine. So Joel he's a Hoosier. He grew up in Bloomington.
Well, I'm not going to say anything else since he's a friend and a Hoosier.
Joel's a nice guy, So and we've talked.
He loves conservatives too. He loves conservatives.
He loves me. He's very nice to me when we talk.
Yeah. He's probably scared of you.
Well, that's like Milt Pregi. We got along great. I didn't get into it through the print media at all. I went through Facebook and Twitter, low rent, and kind of picked up work as I progressed from there. But Milt Pregi was coming out of the print. In fact, I don't think he's even doing it anymore. He just he couldn't find enough work to keep him busy. And but that
was the hardest thing, though, Tony, was trying to find the jobs. Yeah. So when I was at the Indianapolis News, I became the chief artist in the newsroom. And for 16 years, anytime I heard of somebody retiring, a cartoonist retiring or an opening, I would send my stuff. I have 16 years worth of rejection letters, which I kept. I still have them in the folder.
Yeah.
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
But, I could have been in Memphis at one time. I could have been in Wichita. I could have been, a couple of times I applied to a newspaper in San Diego. But anyway, I think I always look at it back now. I look back and see that I think that God had a plan to keep me here. When the job came open at the Indianapolis Star, then I was the one that filled that spot. And it was, I don't know where you got interested in cartooning, Tony, but I got interested the first time I saw Mad Magazine when I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I was hooked.
Yeah. Well, I started drawing in school. And making girls scream and guys laugh,
Yes.
So that's where it started.
Did your school have a school newspaper?
I think high school did, but I didn't participate in that.
Yeah. So in high school, that's where.
Let me just say something real quick. Can you show his cartoons?
Yeah, I would love to.
Let the people see, because he's got some funny ones. I was.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna start from the beginning. Let me.
And then just show that, then get back to what you're doing, but let people see his work.
Right, absolutely.
Branco's selfish. He wasn't going to share your cartoon.
No, heck no. I'm trying to keep my job. Let's see. There we go. This is the first one. Hey, Joe, let me help you carry the torch.
You can smell the aqua velva, can't you?
Yeah. Yeah. That's great.
That's a good one.
And this is your favorite, Joe Dan.
I love this one. Junior.
Son, your mother and I are concerned about how college has changed you. I love Hamas. That's great.
Perfect. That gets right back to those kids we were talking about. They call us Nazis and they're saying, kill all the Jews.
Right.
I know.
What the hell?
I don't see any problem at the border.
Mayorkas Magoo.
That's good.
Now, see, us old guys understand that. I have some people say, "Hey, there's a lot of young people are not going to understand this cartoon." That's right. Okay. Sometimes young people don't. For me, right?
Yeah, but you know what? Young people don't understand a lot of things now. We're not going to slow down for them.
No,
that's right.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to read some of your comments in just a little bit, but I want to go through some of these cartoons first. This is my favorite. I've never been more optimistic.
So Biden keeps having these dogs. His dogs keep biting people, and so I've done a couple of dog biting cartoons, but when I saw his polls, and then he said this more than once. I've never been more optimistic.
Yeah. He's got no leg.
Yeah.
Of course, he only has a 30-minute recall.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't remember he said that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you have any questions for Gary Varvel, please put them up. We'd love to maybe have a question. Okay, we got to that one. Okay, that's the next one, right?
I love that.
Yeah, it seems like to me that the referees, the courts, the media, and the DOJ are doing everything they can to keep him from scoring.
Absolutely.
And I wrote about this in my Substack, and I said, that he's so far ahead in the polls. Their concern is that they don't want the voters to have a chance to vote. So they're trying to, in individual states, trying to get him off the ballot.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's crazy. And I have in the past, years ago, I've done a couple of cartoons where the referees are on the side of the Democrats.
Yeah.
But I love the way you got DOJ, courts, media, and he's still going.
They're the ones tackling him. They're not waiting for the other team.
Exactly.
It's the referees. That's good.
Who was that refrigerator Perry or whatever? I remember him. He had 15 guys on him who kept going.
Well, you know what? With these court things, we've been getting some really good news out. Yeah. I mean, with related to the courts, like for example, did you see this came out? I think it was this morning down in Georgia. The Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger, or however you say his name, a federal judge has called him in to testify. Yes, indeed. And she said there's too many questions about why we're using these machines.
Yeah.
And that's coming up. And she says, and I want him to tell me why he insists on using them next year.
And that
is big.
Yeah. You got a video too later we'll show Fulton County. What's going on in Fulton County, did you say?
Oh, and another judge down there, another federal judge. Georgia's percolating. Another federal judge ruled that all the judges in Fulton County had to be recused. I think we got a video of that Jay Sekulow talking about that. But there's some great things are happening. And then in New York, the appeals court, they lifted the gag order on Trump today.
Oh, did they? I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, they said, what the hell's wrong with you? You can't be gagging President Trump.
No. I like this one. Yeah, thank you for your service.
That's a good one. That's
definitely a good one. Well, that's all I have of yours, Gary, right now. I know you sent me some more, but where can people see your cartoons?
All right, they can go to GaryVarvel.com. I have a website, and I have a whole bunch of galleries there, so you can go through year by year. And of course, at creators, our stuff goes up at creators, and then sign up for my free newsletter at Substack, or you can pay me too. I'm open for that.
Yeah, we take cash, credit card,
check,
chickens and pies.
Now you're also chairman of the board of House of Grace Films. Do you have you were talking before we started the show? You were talking a little bit about a film you guys just did.
Yeah, tell them about that. That's the premise. It sounds so cool.
Yeah.
So we, my oldest son Brett is a actor, director, filmmaker. In fact, he was in the movie American Underdog, the Kurt Warner story. He played Coach Mariucci in that movie, but he's also been the lead actor in several movies like Play the Flute, Running the Bases, Mayberry Man, those kinds of movies. A lot of these they're either they're Christian, based films. And we also made our own films. We did a short film in 2009 that came out called The Board, B-O-A-R-D, and it's a kind of a sci-fi Christian film in which we go inside this person and we see his soul, which we personify as 6 different characters: the mind, emotion, will, conscience, memory, and heart. And so we did a short film basically to present the gospel. And then after we did that, we started working on a full-length feature film, which came out in 2014 called The War Within. And The War Within takes that premise and expands it out into a full-length feature film. And then last year we did a movie called Disciples in the Moonlight, which should be in theaters in 2024.
Can you elaborate on that
So
movie
the
a little
premise
bit?
of the newest movie, and I didn't write this one. I helped write the other two, but this one was written by Josh Strakowski. And this movie, the premise is, it's a future America in which the Bible's been outlawed as hate speech. It's illegal to transport the Bible across state lines. And the government is offering a government-approved version of the Bible that takes out all the bad parts, and they're doing a buyback. So they'll buy your Bible for $100 and give you a government-approved Bible. And so people are doing that. And then the movie revolves around 7 people who are basically smugglers. They're smuggling the true Word of God to underground churches. So it's kind of a dystopian America.
Wow.
It sounds cool.
It does.
I think the concept of bringing scripture into fiction and things like that is just awesome. Yeah. And it's such it's so open.
Well, you're giving things to ponder. You're giving stuff to ponder, and it's really important that people see these things and be able to conceptualize the possibilities, because a lot of us are really in fear of what direction we are headed as far as Christianity and our faith. Movies like this kind of unite people and give them a perspective to cling on to and to beware of.
Well, it's a challenge to the church. How far are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? And so when it comes to the Word of God, are you willing to take a stand and say, no, we're not bending to that? Now, this is not unique. I mean, this is happening in China. They have a government-approved Bible.
Yeah.
This kind of happened in Germany, which the writer got a lot of his concepts from what happened during the Nazi era.
Right.
And kind of fast forwarding and looking at what could be happening here, the loss of freedoms, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jittery
Hobo. I saw that Hitler tune a few days ago. Brilliant. So you got some fans here, Gary.
Oh, good.
And I thought I saw a question down here. I didn't see Gary. Gary Brett is working on any new movies lately. I think he answered that question.
Yeah. So the Disciples in the Moonlight is the newest one. Yeah. Also, he has a movie coming out next year, which he plays the lead actor. And it's called The Great I Am. I'm not allowed to say any more than that, but
it's a good song, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Where can they see these movies? How can they get a hold of these?
Well, they should be in theaters. That's
nice.
And just if you follow me, of course, I'll be talking about it as we get closer to an opening, or we'll probably have some premieres. We'll also have some private screenings that we'll probably advertise about. People could come to before we get to the point where we actually do the distribution.
Yeah, you bet.
So what social media are you on? Where can people find you on social media?
So I'm on X, @Varvel on X. On Facebook, I have 2 different Facebook pages, a fan page, a personal page, the Gary Varvel. You could find me there. And then let's see. I'm on Gab, Getter, MeWe. I'm on LinkedIn.
Are you on True Social yet?
We got to get you on True Social. You there?
True Social, yes.
I'll have to.
Threads.
I'll have to hook up on True Social.
It's hard for me to post all this stuff all the time, and I always forget. I don't have a routine.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I remember, I haven't posted on Threads, or I haven't posted on Truth Social for a while, so I'll post like 6, bang, 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 bang.
Who do you work for now? Are you just a sole enterprise? You work for yourself. You're syndicated through creators. What else do you do with your cartoons?
Question. So I am syndicated through creators, as are you, but I can't live off of that.
Yeah.
So I started my own business, and I met with several people when I took the buyout at the Star, and met with several people, and they said, I would pay you just to send your cartoons to me by email. Oh. And before I left the newspaper, I was writing a column once a week, a conservative column. You know, I worked in journalism all these years and I really wasn't writing. I was just drawing my cartoons and doing that. So I started writing and I found that I really loved it. So I do both. And so my newsletter, if you get my newsletter, Varvel's Views from the Right, then I curate some of the best articles that I've read that week so that you should read this. I call them right links, but I also write about stuff. And I write about maybe sometimes like today I had a couple of cartoons in my newsletter, and then I wrote about what my thought process, what spurred the cartoons on. Yeah. But I also taught an adult Sunday school class for a long time, like 20 some years. And so this gives me an opportunity to write about the headlines from a biblical perspective. So for instance, when the war in Israel took off, wow, there's a lot of things in the Old Testament that talks about what the upcoming wars. And so I was able to write about that just to give people a heads up. You know, why are these two groups fighting with one another? They've been doing it for thousands of years. Right. And so I was able to let people read, you know, what basically was a Bible study when I was teaching the class. And then I also did a series that's still on. If you get my newsletter, I did a series called God's 7,000-year timeline, which I think a lot of people thought was pretty interesting because, you know, the 6 days of creation and God rested on the seventh day. There's two different places in the Bible in which God says to God, a day is like 1,000 years and 1,000 years is like a day. And so if you go with that principle, then those 7 days of creation could also expand out that God had planned for man's time on earth being 7,000 years total. We are at the end of 6,000 years. Wow. And the 7,000 year is the 1,000-year reign of Christ. The Bible talks about Christ actually coming back. He said before he left, he's coming again. And he's going to come back and set up his kingdom here. And of course, that before he does that, there'll be the battle of Armageddon, the tribulation period, all that kind of stuff. So that's the kind of stuff I write about. And there are people who like it. There are some people who don't like it. And that's
too bad. Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
I got it backwards, Joe Dan. He's people are paying him to send out the emails, and I've got to pay people to take my email.
Yeah.
But anyway, well, thanks a lot.
So that's just one revenue stream. I also do merchandise. I have a book, and I do I do prints, and I do public speaking. So it's just all of this kind of stuff.
And they can find out most all of this stuff at GaryVarvel.com.
That's right, GaryVarvel.com. Awesome.
Hold on, before you go, we've got a question from Dennis Sullivan for you guys. If you have time, do you both use Procreate for your production of your cartoons?
I do.
You know what that is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And I found out about Procreate from Steve Sack. Steve Sack, the cartoonist at Minneapolis for years and years. He's retired now, but he started using Procreate on an iPad Pro. And so in 2017, I bit the bullet and did it. And was there much of a learning curve on that? No. In fact, I thought maybe I would just practice for a while. And then I thought, I don't like practicing. Let's just get into the game. So I just did a cartoon on it. Yeah. And then I started showing it. And then after I did it for like a couple of weeks, then I wrote a little piece in the Indianapolis Star, said, I just converted to digital cartoons. And somebody said, have you noticed a difference in your style? And I said, well, let me ask you that. Have you noticed a difference? Because you
had a better question.
If you haven't noticed a difference, then no, you can't.
Yeah. Well, I've never heard of it. I know that sounds. Really? I use Corel Draw. I use Corel Draw.
Okay.
And I've been doing it, and I know how to use it, and I'm afraid to try anything else because it took me a long time to learn that.
So now that Procreate, that we are still talking about cartoons, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, just confirming.
Yeah. So, and when I bought it, so this is a long time, 2017, when I bought it, it was only $6.
Oh, wow.
One-time fee.
Yeah.
And it's so powerful. I mean, it's like Photoshop. It does all kinds of stuff, like you draw on layers, and it has all kinds of different brushes. And
you can use it on PC?
Yeah.
with an art
Well,
tablet?
what I do is I just do it on an iPad Pro, and then when I'm done, and then I just airdrop it to my computer.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
I don't have to do anything else besides that.
Gary, thanks a lot for being here. This has been a pleasure. Maybe in a few weeks or a little down the road, you can do this again.
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Let's get back together and talk about it. I'm like I said, it was good. We've talked on the phone a couple of times. But, I've seen your stuff all around. One of the things I envied you is because you weren't you didn't have an editor over you. You had freedom. And now I have freedom. And so
isn't that great?
Yeah. It's great. And so then I just do stuff and people don't like it. They don't run it. That's fine. But
well, I have about 4 or 5 clients that I do cartoons that pay me to do the cartoons. Yeah. But they don't tell me what to draw. I do these samples because they know my work. I do these assortment of samples and I send the samples to them and they pick which one. And if none of them like a certain cartoon that I really like, I just put it up on my own website, Comically Incorrect. So,
and send them back another cartoon of a middle finger.
Yeah, there you go. Take care, Gary. Listen, this has been fun. This has been so fun.
It's fun for me. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
pleasure meeting you, Gary. Thanks, man.
Hanging out with Joe Dan all day just kind of gets stale for a while.
And don't tell Joel that my family canceled their subscription to the Herald Leader because of some cartoonist. Don't tell him that.
I'm getting on the phone right now. By the way, I loved your intellectual frog legs. I think you do a great job of editing there. That's great.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you so much. Well, I'll get you on there. You have to do one of those. This is Gary, and you're watching Intellectual Frog Legs.
Okay.
Yes.
Going.
Very nice.
Yeah. Take care, Gary.
Take care. Good to have you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Oh,
now,
man.
What do we do?
I don't know.
Oh, you know what? Play that we're coming out of a transition here. How about we play? Hang on, let me get that going. I'm not ready. I'm almost ready.
That's a hard act to follow,
Yeah, well, this chick, her name is Laura Abilene, and she I'm pronouncing her name wrong. She's with. And this organization, it's a massive name, the United Democratic International Movement for Awareness and Freedom.
Yes.
That's a hell of a business card.
yeah, folks, listen to this video and see if anything kind of makes sense to you, because it's she's planting.
She ties a lot of stuff. When we're looking at all this insanity.
Yeah.
This chick, man, anyway, I think it's excellent. So
let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Okay, go full screen.
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education, life in mega cities and away from nature, toxic food, air and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion, and I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women, and children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity, our gender. If you don't know who you are, if you already identify as a hybrid between a man and a woman, you will be easily convinced to become a hybrid between human and machine. Gender ideology is the 2 + 2 = 5 from George Orwell's 1984 dystopian novel. It's the final test to see whether we will follow the most absurd party line towards our own extinction. But 2 + 2 = 4. And no matter how you choose to dress, call yourself, or change your physique, will not change that. The sad reality, though, is that in the gaslighting process to get us closer to a post-human future, they have mentally and physically harmed an increasing number of children and young people, and it's only getting worse. This must be stopped.
Yeah, it must be stopped. That was just her name. Okay, again, we're getting asked, what's her name? Her name is Laura, and the last name, I'll spell it because it's Aboli. Aboli. Laura Aboli. Abilene. I don't know. But she's with the United Democrat International Movement for Awareness and Freedom. That kind of rolls off the tongue, doesn't it?
Yeah, for you maybe.
Yeah,
better you than me. Wow, powerful warning because so much she says is already happening. Fancy.
Oh, she nailed it.
Fancy.
You know, going back to 60 years, the 60-year time frame, and you've watched all this stuff happen. You know, they started attacking the nuclear family in the 60s and in the 70s. You know, free love and all this stuff.
Absolutely. You wanted to touch on Clay Higgins.
Oh, yes, I did.
Yes, you did.
We have a John Wayne in our House of Representatives, and that's that Clay Higgins, from Louisiana.
Yep.
And Clay's a badass. Clay used to be a sheriff or down in Louisiana. And he did the great videos, but this guy's walked the walk. He's law enforcement. I mean, he's done videos where he's packing the guns, everything.
And those videos went viral from because I remember seeing them a few years ago before he ran. I think he was a sheriff.
Yeah. Oh, his videos. Yeah. I think we may have a clip, but let me load up. One from Max Evans. Max Evans. You know, he always does the best videos.
I just want to do a shout out over here at Rumble comment section.
And let's go to the comments for sure.
We got over in Rumble, they're just pouring in. We got South Carolina Girl, Deplorable Dissident, Tech Nerd Dog. Well, we got a lot of guys over here. I love these comments. You guys are great. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. You going to read a couple, Joe Dan?
I'm just trying to open it up and see what I can see.
South Carolina Girl.
Okay, what? No, I can't see it too well. Anyway.
Ross Franco is Nunya. So I misgendered him.
Yeah.
Yeah. His wife has this thing. So I was calling him a her last week.
Well, Ross, I know a good attorney. I know a good attorney. I'd sue his ass.
Misgendered him. Yeah. Who do we got here? We got Evan Abai. Nikki Haley's stance on mandatory social media ID will get her cross-examined during the next GOP debate. She needs to rethink the Big Brother mandate she wants to push. Yeah, she's.
I mean, if any of these, whether it's Nikki or Ron or any of them, if any of them had Trump's lead, they would say the primary's over.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm going to say. The primary's over.
Yeah, dude. I like this comment, Dennis. What a great show. 2 outstanding political cartoonists. Well, what about Joe?
I must have been watching something else.
Yeah. You're chopped liver, Joe Dan.
Oh, well. As long as there's some liver and onions with some bacon.
Yeah, wait till you see one of his videos. His videos are great. We need to do excerpts of your videos sometime. We had on one of the shows, we had little pieces of your video, just a segment.
This is one, somebody gave me an idea today. Now we're going to put out the next episode. We're about 2 weeks away, and we're going to put it out the way we always put it out. But somebody recommended that we do a live show. Post it, screen it live on Rumble,
and
have a live viewing party when we first put it out. Whether it's a Friday night, Saturday night, so whenever.
Yeah.
So we're thinking about doing that.
So play it live while we're hanging out yakking.
Yeah, it's kind of like we're doing here, except we'd be watching the new Intellectual Frog Legs.
Oh, that would be cool.
And you wouldn't be interrupting me so much.
Well, you can't help it. If you didn't talk so loud.
Excuse me for talking while you're interrupting.
Now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, we were going to play the video. We got that. Now this is the Max Evans. He's the MAGA king at number 2 position. Right. I just wanted to reiterate. I just wanted to bring in that people like Gary Varvel, Ben Garrison's coming on next week, and then Larry Elder, I think, is coming on the week after that. As far as if everything,
I've never seen his cartoons.
Larry, he likes my cartoons, so he's got a new book coming out. So I thought I'd get him on the show, and he can pump his new book. I want to read it first.
It's hard to get him to talk, isn't it?
Yeah, the guy's got a lot of information. He's able just to spew it out. But I don't look at cartooning as a competition with conservatives, guys. I think all the memes, all the cartoons, whatever it takes to get the message out there, because we can't afford to do nitpicky stuff and be jabbing at each other.
Yeah, the ego, worry about ego. We got a country to save.
We got a country to save. We got to put all that aside.
And we got to do it for our kids, man. I mean, that's what upsets me. It's how they just keep coming for the kids. And then like in Nashville, they had that manifesto came out and they hit it. Because you've got people, they don't want us to see that they are targeting white Christian children.
Absolutely. That's you hit the nail on the head.
Targeting them. And this person was a graduate with honors from CRTU,
Oh, Jesus.
Bought everything they said. Well, she switched from a she to an it, and I don't want to go any further than that.
But final note on Gary Varvel. I'm a fan of cartoons as much as I try to be a cartoonist. I enjoy looking at a good cartoon, and I don't care who drew it. If it's good and it says a good message.
Sure, I'm going to have to start drawing some cartoons, man.
Well, the thing is people ask, because when I first started drawing cartoons, I'd put my cartoons up. I'd put maybe a Varvel cartoon up or a Ramirez or whatever, but hit the note at the time. But then people kept saying, "Oh, that's a great cartoon you did." So I stopped doing it because they were getting other people's cartoons mixed up and trying to give me credit for it. So I just kind of stopped doing that, but I still enjoy looking at them. Let's check out your Clay Higgins video.
Clay Higgins.
Clay.
You need people with titanium spines to stand up to the FBI and the DOJ.
Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere.
I had a flight that I'm supposed to be hightailing it to out of here.
Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away.
I've tried to make my break as fast as I could.
My. My colleagues across the aisle are going to find themselves in a bind this year because we're going to investigate. We're going to investigate what exactly did happen leading up to January the 6th. You'd have had to be living under a rock in America to not know that there was potential for violence on January the 6th. Mayor Browser. My goodness. It begins with a request from the mayor. The mayor made that request on December 31st. The president authorized it on January the 3rd, but on January the 5th, Mayor Browse of D.C., who's deeply connected with my Democratic colleagues here in this body, she had a change of heart, sent out a letter. We don't want any National Guard. So what happened? We're going to find out. I promise you. Director Ray, will you explain to my colleagues in law enforcement what a show of force deterrence, how meaningful it is, and how effective it is as we deal with potential for violence, mob behavior, rioting, briefly how effective the show of force is.
Well, Congressman, with the caveat up front that the FBI, of course, doesn't do crowd control.
Right, but you're my thin blue line brother on this panel because the chief couldn't come. For some reason, the chief we invited is not here. So you're the man on the panel with law enforcement experience. Just share with my colleagues in America just how effective show of force is as a deterrent if you're facing potential violence.
My understanding is that a visible show of strength is a very, very significant factor.
A very significant factor. I concur. Why do you think, America, why do you think that show of force was canceled? We will know exactly what happened. And some in this body are not going to like it. Show of force is a peaceful deterrent. Who could possibly benefit? Let the world ask that question. Who could possibly benefit from the removal of a show of force deterrence on the eve of January the 6th? I'll leave America with that cliffhanger.
Amen.
Yes, sir. And then the thing about it, that did not include his clip from yesterday. His clip from yesterday. And now I'm going to have to fast forward through because we don't want to take too much time. But it's awesome, though.
The part I liked about it was the ghost buses.
Yeah, we're going to get to that.
Not Ghostbuster, ghost buses.
Yeah, basically, in short, Ray was back in front of Clay Higgins yesterday. And he reminded Director Ray of their conversation a year ago. And he said, well, we've been, and he said, well, I never got an answer. And so now, anyway, you can pop it up there and I'll pause it.
Okay. I also enjoy Joe Dan's creative energy on intellectual frog legs.
Oh,
Thank you, Joe Dan.
Yes, sir. We got some more coming.
No, and then we got Larry Elder should have been the governor of California. That's right. I'm going to ask him that question when
I don't know why he didn't fight. So I'll keep my mouth shut because he should have. I would. You keep fighting. You know? Oh, I lost. Okay.
Well, he's still fighting in a lot of ways.
I know.
Yeah, he's tried to run for president.
Yeah, he needs to grow that mustache back. That's what threw him off.
He told me he was running for president, and I said, "Well, if you're president, can I be your cartoonist czar?" He says, "Sure." So we would have had a new position in the White House. I'd have been in the cabinet as cartoonist czar. I'm going to ask him that too. So anyway, let's watch this thing.
Yeah.
Director Ray. Last year, you might recall, sir, our exchange regarding the FBI's involvement on January 6th and prior. I'm happy to jog your memory.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward because it takes a little time.
Embedded into the crowd on January 4 entering the U.S. Capitol, who is reported to have, his quote.
Oh, well, I got to go back just a little bit.
We'll move on.
You asked for a definitive
answer. We'll move
answer.
on. It's my time. You said no, you're not going to answer. That's cool. We're watching.
Mr. Chairman, may I answer the question?
Your moment will come. This is my time. Earlier this year, an FBI informant who is reported to have, his quote, under oath, marched to the U.S. Capitol with fellow Proud Boys members on January 6th, close quote. He said he was communicating with his FBI handler while people were entering the U.S. Capitol. Can you confirm that the FBI had that sort of engagement with your own agents embedded into the crowd on January 6th?
If you are asking whether the violence at the Capitol on January 6th was part of some operation orchestrated by FBI sources and or agents, the answer is emphatically
You're saying
not.
no?
No.
You're saying no?
Not
Okay.
violence orchestrated
Let's
by
move
FBI
on.
sources or
Here we
agents.
go.
Are you familiar with you know what a ghost vehicle is? Director of the FBI certainly should. You know what a ghost bus is?
A ghost bus?
Ghost bus.
I'm not sure I've used that term before.
Okay. Well, it's pretty common in law enforcement. It's a vehicle that's used for secret purposes. It's painted over. These two buses in the middle here, they were the first to arrive at Union Station on January 6th, 0500. I have all this evidence. I'm showing you a tip of this iceberg.
Mr. Chairman.
These two buses
Mr.
are
Chairman.
painted completely white. These buses are nefarious in nature and were filled with FBI informants dressed as Trump supporters and deployed onto our Capitol on January 6th. Your day is coming, Mr. Ray.
Your day is coming, Mr. Ray.
Oh, boy.
Your day is. Now, see, the thing that, we hear a lot of bluster and a lot of talk, coming out of D.C. But it's important to know, Clay, this dude he's a serious law enforcement guy. I mean, from Louisiana.
Right.
You want to show a little clip of that, or
which one now?
A little bit of this. This is where, just before he became the representative, he was in law enforcement down in Louisiana, and they had some gangs coming in the area, and he put out this video. And we'll stop it after a minute. If we just let it play for a minute, I think it'll give up that background of where he's coming from. He's not coming from a political career. He's not coming from a desk. He's coming from. He was carrying the guns. He did what he had to do.
He's there to do a job.
Yeah.
Just like Trump. Trump came into D.C. to do a job, not find issues to run on, but to fix problems. And that's why they tried to get him off the ballot.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Mr. Carter, you think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life and holds your gun sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away. Look at you. Men like us, son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any punk like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up. Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong.
Okay, well, that's enough. He keeps going.
Yep.
But
Yep.
that's who this guy is.
Yeah.
And he used to put out, I encourage you guys to go do a YouTube search of Clay Higgins. Just put Sheriff Clay Higgins or Captain Clay Higgins. The videos are hilarious.
Yeah, he's good. And
I
he's
said
the
that.
kind of guy that the wimpy, beta males they love to make fun of this guy. These wimpy little DC
that's
crates.
all they do. That's all they
Yeah.
do. Well, in one video, he was standing in front of this diner that got robbed. He says the sheriff likes this diner. He said he's upset. So after I get through arresting you and locking you up, I'm gonna come over here and have me a hamburger and a Coke, and then I'm gonna give the waitress a big tip. While you'll be getting your food through a little hole in a cell door. But he's so cool. He's so cool.
Let's do this. Let's do this. This is cute. Jodan's got this video up. I want to.
I hate cute videos, but this little girl talking about her lipstick.
Yeah.
What did you put on?
Lipstick on.
Oh, whose was that?
It was my lipstick.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
Did you ask anybody if you could put it on?
I asked myself.
Did you see how it looked?
Yeah.
You bought it?
Yeah.
Where'd you buy it at?
My lipstick?
Yeah.
I bought it from Home Depot.
I bought it from Home Depot.
Oh boy! Hey, do you have a song? Do you have a song to end out with or close out with?
You know what? We never decided.
Oh, that's okay. I got to pull up some older cartoons real quick. We're going to go over a little bit.
Maybe we should ask everybody.
Okay.
Or maybe we should just do something.
Do you guys want to see some older cartoons? I have tomorrow's cartoon finished, but I didn't pull it up yet. So maybe what I'll do is I'll pull up while you're finding that cartoon, I'm going to pull up I didn't even finish it. So tomorrow's cartoon is going to get me in a lot of trouble. So be sure to stay tuned and check it out. Let me pull up you guys want to see some older cartoons that have to do with what's going on today? Let me hear a yes. Oh, I see. Of course. A lot of trouble. Yes, please. Okay, got older cartoons coming up. I don't care what Jodan says. I'm going to do it anyway.
Don't go ahead. I'm trying to figure out the music.
Yeah, he's finding a song. I don't care what song it's.
I'll find something that doesn't suck. I assure you.
Right. Here we go. I'm going to go ahead and do
the media. Yeah, that might as well have gasoline shooting out of their lens.
This is all coming from the George Floyd thing is rearing its ugly head again because now they're finding out more and more evidence that those cops were innocent. They were doing exactly what their training had told them. And then you had a different angle of his knee, which shows that it wasn't on his neck. It was on his shoulder where they trained him. And then they discarded a lot of evidence out of the trial. Even the chief of police said that it wasn't in the training manual to do what Chauvin did, but it is. And there were cops. There's a show, and it's on my Truth Social, a movie. I can't remember what the name of the movie is. The Fall of Minneapolis, I believe it is. But if you can find it on my socials.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chauvin, he was just a scapegoat.
Yes.
And then there's been so many. So many. They need somebody to be the bad guy or the demon.
They're thinking that the jury was tampered with, was corrupted. There's a lot of things going on, but these cartoons here kind of just jogged my memory to go back and check them out. Here we go. We got Antifa, George Floyd's mass, terrorism. It's their excuse. They were looking for an opportunity to create havoc, and that's what Marxists do. They just sit and wait.
I don't know if you remember, but back in 2008, 2009, Rahm Emanuel, who worked with Obama, said, "Never let a crisis go to waste."
Amen, brother.
Well, they liked that so well, they decided, well, we'll just create our own crises.
Yeah, basically that's what they're doing.
Yeah, I mean,
and they thought they were going to get away with it with the Israeli thing because all these Palestinians are just coming out of the woods. They're not Palestinians; they're just college-educated idiots that are coming out of the woodworks.
Democrats.
Yeah, Democrats protesting Israel, but it's not going over as well as they thought it would, because you had 200 and some thousand pro-Israel people on the
300,000. Yeah,
300,000. But the media didn't report it. The media hardly reported it at all.
But now Ilhan Omar, one of our muzzies in Congress, she did say something that it's hard to argue with, but she said anti-Semitism would disappear today if you just kill all the Jews.
But that's what they're thinking. They are thinking that. And it's all a part of the defund the police, instigate riots. I mean, can you imagine having all these riots and all this crime, and they're trying to defund the police? These Soros prosecutors is what it's all about. He puts these prosecutors in place to ignore real crime and go after their political opponents. That's what they're doing.
And every time you criticize Soros in the media, you're an anti-Semite.
Right. Although he's waving the Hamas flag, or at least he's funding with dark money all these Hamas anti-Jewish organizations.
Well, he started his career helping the Nazis.
Yes.
And now he's helping Hamas.
For sure.
He's more of an anti-Semite than anybody I know.
Yeah, I know it. He's done more. I've talked to a few of my Jewish friends, and they said he's done more to hurt the Jewish people in the United States than to help them at all.
And I have a lot of Jewish friends myself, and I have my roommate in college. But I'm just going to say, if every Jew behaved like Ben Shapiro, I wouldn't like any of them.
He can be a pain in the butt sometimes.
What do you think? I mean, he's good at debating school kids.
Yeah.
And doing that sort of thing.
He's done some pretty good zingers. What do you think of this cartoon? Here's your replacement.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Pussy hat. The pussy hat communists.
Yeah.
Let's
Let's get this peaceful protesters' view on George Floyd murder. Who's George Floyd?
You know what? The point there is perfect, because these people have no clue why they're protesting. You see where, like, these idiots who are gluing their hands to the road and they're blocking the road. Some dude came out and shot him. Did you see it? Dude came out and shot two of them. Boom, boom.
Heard about that.
Boom. And I feel really sorry for them.
Yeah, but the left is looking for things like that so that they keep poking the beehive until they get stung, and then when they get stung, they blame the beehive.
Oh yeah, but it's like they don't. And we used to have natural selection. Back. When the cavemen, they'd be walking along and fall off a cliff. The dumb didn't survive, or the other caveman who tried to kiss a T-Rex on the lips. Yeah, it was a bad decision. Yeah, they died. Yeah.
Yeah. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. It's South Carolina girl. That's true. They don't even know what they're fighting for. They just want to loot, burn, and have a great time.
They're being paid. The BLM protesters or the Hamas protesters or the whatever. I mean, they started out, remember 10 years ago, Occupy Wall Street. Yeah. That was about nothing. But they were just trying to see how many idiots they could get to do stuff.
Right.
And they've been building and building and building since then. But they've never had any grassroots organization.
No. We got Nana Vicky. These cartoons say in a minute what would take an hour to explain to the libtunes. Yeah. That's what they say. They asked me one time, how come you put all these labels in so that liberals can understand them? And then I realized, well, some of them probably can't read, so why even bother?
And Jittery Hobo just posted that Harrison Floyd is a black guy in Georgia crapping all over Fannie Willis. Harrison Floyd's a hero. They offered him. They said, "Well, we'll offer you a plea. A plea deal." He said, "Screw you! I want to prove this case." And then you got all these other things falling in Georgia.
Yeah.
The Georgia ain't done. There's a lot of patriots that were furious and embarrassed.
It seems like the whole facade is starting to crumble around them, and they're panicking. I don't know how it's going to end up, but all of those cases where they're trying to get him off the ballot, they're just un-American, man. I don't know where these people are. They're communists is what they are.
Well, it's been a 60, 70-year infiltration.
Yep.
And we were comfortable. We were happy. We didn't see any problems. We could still get to McDonald's and go to our movies and the ball games. But, and I want to make one comment about our new speaker.
Yeah.
What a disgrace. What a disgrace for what him to do. But we're going to give him a chance to ride the ship, but he better ride it fast.
Yeah, he better get off the gun there. He better get off his butt.
To come out, his first thing, he came out, he said a prayer.
Mm-hmm.
And people, he had such goodwill going in. And then he turns around, they blow the impeachment of Mayorkas, and then he votes for a CR using the Democrats. See, that's the BS that caused McCarthy to get vacated. And we'll vacate another one if we have to. Absolutely. But I saw there was a recent poll that 90% of all eligible voters believe both houses of Congress should be replaced with a room full of monkeys throwing feces. And I'm right there with them, man.
Yeah, I would almost vote for that.
It would cost us a lot less.
Yeah.
Cost us a lot less. Well, I've got a great ending song. It is a live version of something really cool from the Doobie Brothers.
Oh, the Doobie Brothers.
Old school Doobie Brothers, and not listen to the music. I never did like the song. I love the Doobie Brothers, but that song, I'm like,
hey, can you read a couple of the comments over in the Rumble section so they don't feel left out? There's some good ones over there.
Let's see if I can read. Okay, we've got Nana Vicky. Yeah, we've got her with South Carolina girl. Georgia's where my parents were born, and my second state. Have a second home there. I'm so disappointed. Well, you know what, South Carolina girl, they're turning it around.
Deplorable Dissident has one there. Best cartoons are those that wake up the sheep. All too often, the sheep operate on fleas instead of the facts and logic. Political cartoons break the feels. Oh, the feels barrier. Okay, they operate on feels. Okay.
Well, I'm disappointed we didn't get around to Taste the Biscuit.
Oh
man!
Next week it's Taste the Biscuit.
Week. But anyway,
wait a minute. We're on next week. We're on Wednesday night.
Wednesday night, yes.
Wednesday night.
Because I understand there's a holiday on Thursday.
Yeah, Halloween.
But thank you. Our absurd Congress took today off. They've already gone home for Thanksgiving. Because they deserve it. And I've talked to my congressman's office. I said, yeah, just stay home. Just stay. And you know what I would like? I would like to see James O'Keefe hook up a couple of our MAGA congressmen with some hidden cameras.
Yeah,
I would. That's what, because
that would be good.
We're going to need. I mean, because you've got these flaming communists like Ken Buck and Scalise and these worthless rhinos, and they're corrupt. And we need somebody. We need a James O'Keefe trick. Get in there and get some heroes, and they need to start turning in their cohort.
That's true. Yeah, no, remember, for all of us. It's Thanksgiving next Thursday. If you're Biden, it's Halloween. And say goodbye, Joe Dan. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Are we done?
Okay.
I thought.
think so. Oh yeah, you got anything left? What you want to
No,
say?
we just want to make sure everybody comes and follow us on True Social and over on that X. That's really the two places that I post most of the time.
Let me run the banners. Let me run the banners. Your
Okay.
banner, because I want people to know where you're at. So, Joe Dan's amazing videos.
intellectualfroglegs.com, and on True Social and on X, I'm at Joe Dan Media. At Joe Dan Media. Now, we've got this great song, and yeah, just go. It's number 3. And
Okay.
every one of you will know it, and you'll probably be singing with it before it's over.
All right. Thanks for the comments, everyone. And thanks, Gary Varvel, for joining us.
We'll see you guys next Wednesday.
Absolutely. Take care.
Synchronize your watches. now.
Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific.
Full screen.
Well, I built me a raft and she's ready for float. On Mississippi, she's calling my name. Catfish jumping and that paddle wheel bumping. Black water keep rolling on back just the same. Oh, black water keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on? Oh, black water keep on rolling. Mississippi moon, won't you keep on shining on? Oh, black water keep on rolling. California moon, won't you keep on shining on me? Keep on shining your light. Gonna make everything. Pretty mama gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, 'cause I ain't in no hurry at all. Keep on rolling, Mississippi won't you keep on shining. Oh, black water, keep on rolling, Mississippi won't you keep on shining. Oh, black water, keep on rolling, California moon won't you keep on shining on me. Keep on shining your night, gonna make everything, everything gonna make everything alright. And I ain't got no worries, done ain't no hurry at by the hand. Oh, by my hand, take me by my hand, pretty mama, dance with the daddy. Come on, you sing it.